And welcome back to the ARK Survival Evolved Omega mod today. This is your host, BigBen. Today we're going to be talking about storage. This might be a little bit longer of a video. In fact, we might even piece it up into two videos. But let's go ahead and get started with a couple items here. We've already talked about the Omega Workbench and how you can craft that in our very first video. Now we're going to show you some of the structures in that video. Alright guys, let's go ahead and start off with the void vacuum. This is where everything goes and disperses out to all of your structures for storage. So let's go ahead and dive on into this sucker. So in here you'll click on your void vacuum settings. This is how I normally have mine set up right here. I have these boxes checked off over here. You'll see different settings such as dropped item pickup. So anything that is dropped by like a bag or dropped from your inventory, this will automatically pick up. You have automatic item transfers, and this one will disperse it to all the structures where it's assigned to. You have your dino withdrawal on attack. Let's just say you have an arena that you have one of these active in there. You can click this and you can just basically walk your dino over to it and it will automatically take all the inventory off of it. The reason why I don't really normally use it is because I like to keep my health potions on my dino and I don't want it to be, taken. But if you're one to know that you have inventory on your dino that you don't want, you can stick it on your inventory, then go hit this. Go for it. Global item transfers. So if you have everything on one map, it'll go to those areas on that map. And we have our quantum compactor transfer. So everything goes back to the quantum and gets stored there instead of stuffing up your void vacuum. Transfer to imbued and fragmenter. So if you have a bunch of set items and imbued items, it'll go to the fragmenter and you can look stuff over on that and the fragmenter a little bit easier. This one down here is only transfer to personal structures. So if you have a big tribe, you can have it transferred to your own personal structures. If you have a small tribe and you guys don't really care, you can turn that off. But it's all in how you want to do it. And that basically covers everything in our void vacuum. Let's go ahead and jump over to the next structure. Alright, our next structure is the dimensional storage. And this is a pretty cool one as well. If we go ahead and jump on into this one, you'll see a couple things in the menu right here in the middle. Let's just say, for instance, you want to keep like your fur cap or whatever imbued item that you have in here. You can put it in here, manage items. You can click it to store it. And after you do that, it'll automatically store in here after you put it into the void vacuum. And it's really awesome the way this thing works, because some things that are not stackable won't be stored. And then of course you can always come in here and you can rename it. Let's just say I want caps, and it'll change that for us right there. And now let's go ahead and jump on over to the next structure. Alright guys, our next item is the dumpster. Let's go ahead and dive on into this one. So as you'll see here, you'll have your menu right here to manage items. If I don't want a blueprint because it's too weak, I'll throw it in here. I can have the void vacuum automatically put it in here and automatically get rid of it for me. Another thing that we can do with this is we can disable dump, and we can store items in here. So let's just say like you have a bunch of stuff in your void vac, but you're not sure if you want to get rid of it. You can have it all collect in here, and then every so often come over here, go through it all, and then you can click dump all now, and it'll get rid of all those items. This is pretty cool if you want to do auto, because it will get rid of stuff automatically for you. But if it's something that's kind of important to you, you might want to just keep it on like a store all until you can come back and then go through it all and then dump all. So that's kind of a nice little overview on this one. Let's go to the next item. Alright, so our next item is the grinder. Let's go ahead and see what we can grind up in here. And we can look through here. We do have the main menu right here again. You can manage items. It's pretty much just like the dumpster up there. And as you can see, it has a couple other items in here on how to use it. But for the most part, it's just like the dumpster up there. The only thing that this one's going to help you with is getting resources back from things that you grind up. So let's just say that you have some weapons or whatever you want to grind up. You have excess of. You can throw it in here, and you can reclaim the resources out of that. And again, you can set this up with your void vac to have it automatically do it. You just click whatever you want to put over here, and then you can manage items to have it automatically grind up for you. So a nice little thing to keep everything tidy again, and really just help organize everything in your base. And our next item that we're going to jump over to is... Alright guys, this is the soul compressor. Let's see what all we can compress in this one. As you can see, we have our main menu here, 3 different buttons. Let's go ahead and jump in, see what we have for souls. And in the soul compressor you have 4 different types. You have your Paragon, your Omega, your Boss, and your God souls that you can store in this compressor. Let's go ahead and click on Paragon, see what I have. And this one, you can see I have one of these in stock here. The shard value is 4. It's an awesome little shortcut to see how much each Paragon's worth shard value wise. And let's just say I want that one. It'll pull it over here to the inventory, and then I can just transfer that over to my inventory. You can do that with basically any of these souls in here. And that's a nice little thing to keep everything really organized, because you'll be getting thousands of souls. Just really easy to keep everything nice and organized, really easy to search too. Just want to mention with the soul compressor, do not take this to another map when you're full with it. You'll lose stuff with it. You might lose all your inventory with it actually. It does not transfer like the Quantum does. So just a reminder, you can lose all your stuff and to transfer maps if you plan on doing that. And it is a little bit tedious, but just a reminder, do not take this with you to another map. It will lose most of your stuff most of the time. Let's go ahead and jump on over to our next, and our next item is the Quantum. And the Quantum, let's take a look and see what this is all about here. So in this one, this is to store everything that is stackable. So like your regular souls, your alpha essence, anything that's stackable you can put in here. And one of the best things is you can pull anywhere on the map as long as you have this down and search for whatever you want, as long as you have it in your Quantum here, and you can pull whatever you need. There are some things that are not set up on here, but once you set it up, it'll tell you to compress the items, and as long as it will take it out of here, it will store it. So let's just say your void vacuum is getting backed up. Come over here, try to place them in here. If that doesn't work, we're going to try to find another storage area for you to get that set up with. But that's how this little structure works. The other positive about this structure is that you can transfer this item when it's full and everything's compressed, go between maps, and that makes moving a whole lot easier and not a whole lot of mess. So let's go ahead and jump to the... Alright guys, and we have these nice little set totems here. There's 5 different settings, so we'll go through them real quick here. So on this one, you can click from 6 different options. You can store all items, and whenever it says all items, it'll be weapons, saddles, charms, saddle tokens, or medallions. Or you can set up multiple structures and store these individually, which is what I normally do. I usually set them up and we'll store each one of these individually. That way I have a nice clean area, easy to look through, and it just makes life a whole lot easier. So if you have like these medallions right here, you can have them go right into it and store in there. And you can go through them here from time to time. And once you get too many items, you can go fragment them. So our next item is going to be these set mannequins. As you can see, once you put the armor in here, you can see what it kind of looks like before you put it on. That's a great place to store it, keep everything nice and organized. As you'll look up here, you'll see where it says choose item set, and then you'll basically choose if you want gifted or Midas or so on and so forth. There are tons of different sets right now, but let's go ahead and jump over to it and go through the menu a little bit. So you'll come through here, you can click whatever set you want this one to store. So once it hits your void vac, it will be stored in here. And let's just say I want gravity, and then my quality I want ascendant. So I'm going to basically click on all these, and this will send it to the fragmenter automatically for me, and it'll store my ascendant. And then I can go through here and I can check out all my ascendant once I get everything put through my void vacuum, and it'll do that until it gets full. Once it gets full, everything will kind of like get stuck in my void vac, and then I'm gonna have to be forced to, go through stuff and destroy stuff as needed. But that's a quick little overview on how this is used, and it's really neat to just see what everything looks like, and helps you with what kind of set that you want to use within your gameplay. Let's jump over to our next storage item. Our next item is the item fragmenter. What can we fragment, and why is this useful? It creates fragments for like your set items, your medallions, your imbued items, and you'll use those fragments in the imbue workbench, and that will help you create different types of armors and help you really progress through your gameplay with what kind of imbues you put in. Like you can have more magic find, more melee. There are tons of different options. All luck of the roll there. And we'll go over the imbue workbench here in a couple videos just to show you what that's all about. But this item really does come in handy with searching as well. So let's just say this thing's all filled up and you have a bunch of different items in here. You can actually type in, magic find increased by semicolon, 100 or whatever number you're looking for, and it will pull it up out of the 1,000 items that you store in here. And then let's just say you don't have anything that's worthwhile keeping, you can go ahead and hit fragment on the items, and it will give you the fragments in here. And you'll just take those, put them in your inventory, and take them to the imbue workbench where you can store them at and use them throughout the course of the game. And our last storage item on here is going to be, and these are our scroll storage. This is where you're going to store your blueprints, your quests, and let's just go ahead and show you a couple things here. So you can store weapons only, armor only, saddles only, quest scrolls only, or you can store all items depending on how many you're getting. I like to build them all out and store all these individually, that way they're easy to look through. It just makes life a little bit easier for me. The other awesome thing about this one, you can choose your quality levels. So let's just say you wanted all of them, you'll enable all of them, and if you don't want a certain one, you'll just uncheck it. And I just want ascendant, and everything that's ascendant level will come into here, and I can store it in here. Great thing for our void vacuum to not become backed up with all those blueprints. That pretty much sums it up for how storage works on this one. If you have any questions or anything, please ask. Demonstrate a couple things on here. If I'm looking at my void vac and I go into the inventory, I can transfer a bunch of stuff over. So let's just transfer some stuff. And right now I don't have anything check marked on this one. So if I go to vacuum settings and I set it up the way I like to set it up, such like this, I can take one of the items and I can take something else, put it over here, and as you can see, it has dispersed everything to where it needs to go. Same thing if I decide to go to my inventory and just drop stuff. As you can see, there's boxes everywhere. Now they're gone. It's dispersing that as well. And I can go to my dinosaur here, and I can tell it to drop all. I want to drop everything. There's the bag, and then here in just a second it should pick up everything and take it to this void vac like we just did. And you'll see everything has been dispersed to where it needs to go. This is the area that the void vacuum will pick up in. I did put a giga down there just for a reference of size of how large it is. We do put multiple void vacuums down in like our arenas, so that way we can pick up stuff. It's awesome tool, and it saves us a bunch of time from going through and organizing everything and helping us through our game. But just to get an idea of that, we'll give it a little fly over here and jump down into it. But this is a nice size bubble. Our giga, you can see, is pretty big. And we are at the center, and this is a big area. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Come join us on Discord at EasyGoinGaming. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, comment below, hit that notification button for our next video. And as always, my friends, take her easy.